Hi everyone, this is Howlack and welcome to another Java tutorial session. In this tutorial I will be discussing Java constants or the keyword final. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so here I have my main class that's automatically generated. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a simple class. Let's call it A. Okay, and in class A um, what I'm going to do is create a, a final or a constant, right? Or you can think of it as a constant, but this is basically a final um, instance variable here. And I'm just going to have it as type integer, okay? And let's call that ARR, okay, so array, okay? So, and I'm going to have another one, all right? So here, it's throwing up an error, an exception, and I'll get to that. So let's have another one, and this one is actually just an int, and with int, this is how you would show it, okay? So all uppercase, and every other word separated by an underscore. All right. So now let's get back to handling that um, the error there. Okay, so I'm going to have a constructor, and in the constructor, I'll be creating the array. All right. So here, you notice that I could have done it this way, right? But I've actually installed, and I'm using the Java 8 capability, so I don't need to put the type in there, in the diamond there, because it can infer from the declaration here. Okay, so now that's gone. All right, nothing new there. Okay, and then for my constant, right, I'll set it. Let's say 10. Okay. All right. So that's what we have so far. Okay. Um, now you notice that there's one thing that I'm going to make note right off the bat. If I actually didn't do this, right, if I comment that out and say, let's just say that in here I try assigning, I try creating, instead of the constructor, what I do is I create the, the array list, all right, in the method. Okay, so let's try doing that. All right, and one thing you notice right off the bat is that it will give me an error and say cannot assign a value to final variable array. Okay, so if you have a final uh, instance variable, it's required that you initialize it in the constructor. Okay, so that's a requirement. All right, so I'll comment this out. All right, so that's what we have so far. Now let's go back to this class, and in this class I'm going to create the object. All right, A. Okay, so I have that object, right? And you also notice I'm breaking the rule a bit, right? I didn't declare them as private. Right? I just wanted accessible. This is for demonstration purposes. Um, in a real implementation, and you're not worried about performance, then you would have those instance variable private. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Right? So I'm going to get access to it. I'm going to add. All right, I'm going to add, let's say, 100. All right, and add another one. Okay, and you notice that you're probably wondering, wait a minute, this is final, right? Why is it I can actually add elements in a variable, right? That's declared final. Well, um, hold on to that thought, and then I'll show you right away. Okay, so now that we've added it, right, and we can as easily retrieve it, right? So you can see. All right, so a dot r dot get, all right, and I just say get the first element. All right, so here we run it, will print 100. Okay, so it'll do the auto boxing. Okay, when it actually added the integer 100 in there. Now it's unboxing. Okay, so it's just parsing. All right, so let's just let it display first, and there it is, 100. All right, so now let's address that. that issue. Okay, we declared as final, but yet we can add, all right, elements to the array list. Okay, now what the final actually mean is that the final is more like, well, let's see what happens if I try to all right, create a new array list and make a reference to that ARR here, right? This instance variable here. And you notice I cannot assign a value to final variable R, right? Array here. Okay, so that's what the final indicate when we put a final keyword in front of an object. All right, it basically is saying, well, you can't reassign this instance variable to point to a new object of that type. Okay, that's basically what it's saying. So that's what final means in the context of objects. Okay, now if we try to do this, all right, if we try to reassign, like say, I don't know, 500 to that, right? Now, with a primitive type, you can't assign it at all. Okay, so with primitive type, you can't. It's pretty much what you have always known as a constant, right? A primitive constant can never be reassigned another value. Okay, so this is the final keyword. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.